All right, the Nigerian National League is heating up with various teams, all teams vying for promotion to top flight. We'll give you the latest update. Also in the Nigerian Professional League, the title race is very intensifying. We analyze all the contenders. Just remember also the Nigerian World Cup qualifier has been on. Qualifying stages has been on. Just in case you don't know, we'll be discussing the team's performance and chances. But before we do so, let us take a look at what the Punch Sports Extra has to say this morning. And the Punch Sports Extra says the new number 10, Fisayo Dele Bashiru, joins the select club of players to wear the Eagles' special number. Alright, the special number of JC number 10. Alright, that's on page 7 of the Punch Sports Extra. Alright, so above the masthead we have Adara Bayo considers Eagles switch. Alright, that's on page 6. And Roma to pay £35 million for Omorodion. Alright, Awoni tops La Portuguese strikers list. And the Olympics we have Falcons Don't Fear group of threats. That's coming from Nandozier on page 6. Right beside the masthead, we have Murillo plotting Adebayo Fanambache's move. That's on page 6. Page 3 has the story on CR7 playing Euro at 39, a gift. Page 3 also have Chan gets late Germany call up. Page 4 now talks about the fans, blues fans wanting or hailing, sell him, just like they did to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. But in that case was crucify him, crucify him. Now Chelsea fans are shouting, sell him, that they don't want Sterling anymore. They want him out of the club. Find out details about that story on page 4 of the Punch Sports newspaper. Louis snobs Arsenal. My guest here in the studio is wearing Arsenal fan. He will tell us a little bit, Arsenal Jesse. He will tell us a little bit about that. But just in case you miss out in whatever he's going to say, grab your copy of Punch Sports Extra and go to page 5. All right, below that we have the Nigerian stories. It says Nigerian Professional Football League on page 7 says Heartland goes down. Nasarawa Economy promoted. All right, so page 2 also have the story on Mike Tyson. It says, I want to fight Anthony Joshua. That's like somebody who is 31 years younger than him. Wow. Or thereabouts. Mike Tyson should be 57 years now. All right. So page 2 has Australia's Titmios sets 200 million freestyle world record. All right, that's what we have on the Punch Sports this morning. And now let's get back to Nigerian sports. Remember I said earlier on the Nigerian National League has seen some surprising results lately. We want to discuss here right now, break down the implications. And in the professional league, remember we just read from Punch Sports Extra. It says Heartland goes down, then Nasarawa and El Kanami gets promoted. That's those teams are as they are gearing up for the final stretch. But please, let's remind you to call in and join the conversation on the this morning. We're calling the numbers showing on our screens now on your screen, and also you can also send your comments and your views to our various social media handles, also showing on your screen. Gentlemen, let's start with the Nigerian Premier League. What's happening in the Nigerian Premier League? Let's take for instance, I know of a show of a game last week where that led to a chaos.
The Oriental Derby.
Yes, the Oriental Derby against Rangers United and Eimba, and that ended up the match was inconclusive. Let's use it that way. It was
I won't say inconclusive because they still give Rangers the
no. At that point, it was left inconclusive when Eimba and its teammates walked out of the stadium. abandoning the match that was almost about 190 something minutes or thereabouts,
98.
98 minutes, because of a wrong decision.
A call for penalty.
Yes, if that they termed it a wrong decision from the officiating referee of the match. So it's been a while we've seen such a case in Nigerian Premier League, and it's coming back to us again. What do you think? Do you think Nigerian Premier League, we are heading forward or we are deviating backward?
I was saying to somebody this morning, I said, you get a good result when there's nothing at stake in the game. That's when you, whether you play well, you don't, or you don't play well, you can tell that this results. But when that match, there's something at stake. I said it on this show on several occasions that the reason why we've not been able to turn out good players from the local league is because when you're playing at home, you're expected to win. But when you're playing away and you know that the home team is expected to win, you relax, or you see everybody playing a defensive minded game, not coming out to show what they can really do. You have a derby game just like you have Manchester United and Man City, or Chelsea playing West Ham or Fulham, or Arsenal playing Tottenham, and then the stadium was packed full, 25,000 capacity, packed full. There was no space. You played 90 minutes and it was still a barren draw, and you added 8 minutes extra time, and you decided on the 8 minutes to call for a penalty of a game of such magnitude. And we don't have VAR here to go back to and say, let's see this thing, whatever it is that the referee says. They tell you, like the military people will tell you, obey the last command. Whether it's a wrong call or not, the referee has blown for penalty. And so the fans who carried themselves all the way from Aba, boarding over 20 coastal buses, or I can't remember the bus, boarded that number of buses to come and support their team, only for them to get to be shortchanged like that. I don't think anybody would want it. I don't think anybody would like it. But they are winding down, like you rightfully said, trying to end the season, and Rangers is on top with about 3 points or thereabout, and Enyimba following from behind. So you see how important that game is. And the same Rangers went to play another team, was it yesterday, and lost by a long goal, just because they are playing away. So you understand where these old dynamics are coming from. And kudos to Ikorodu City and El Kanemi. El Kanemi has been in the Premiership before, so they've had a taste of it. Now they need to decide if they want to stay. Same thing applies to Nasarawa United. And same thing, now we have two first-timers who will be gracing the MPFL, which is Ikorodu City and I can't remember the other one. That one is from Ogun State too. So, but then again, soldier go, soldier come, barrack remain. If you don't play well, you go down. Heartland is going down at the moment, and then the new boys are coming up.
All right, thank you, Mr. Raphael. Mr. Godwin, right. I know you watched the replay or the video that caused this commotion. Do you think that thing was that offense worth the penalty? And do you think the referee gave the right judgment? Because in my own view, it's a very important match and a very vital match that has a whole lot of attention to it. That wasn't supposed to be given as a penalty.
Oh, all right.
It wasn't supposed to be given. To my own view, I watched it. I even had to do a slow motion of it and saw the whole thing. At the first instance, the striker committed the defender, and he had left the defender, and just a little bit contact was his hand that was holding on to the defender. In the process of leaving the defender, the ball came to him, and he thought, and mind you that he was on offside position at that point. So I really don't want to give any.
You're already giving your verdict. You're already giving your verdict.
All right, Ebuka, thank you so much. For me, I would want to question the professionality of both the players and the officiating referee at that match. Mr. Ralph rightly pointed out that we don't have a VAR to really have a detailed analysis of what transpired. But these are players that have been playing professional football for donkey numbers of years, and they know that every ref have the final say in the pitch, and every ref makes a decision from their own point of say observation and how they see things happen per second. So at that point, you as the spectator, it is always assumed that you see better than both the player and the officiating. So I wouldn't hold you for the comments you made, Ebuka. So it is clear. But based on the angle of discipline and professionalism, I would not want to fault the ref, because there are other ways to go about issues like this. One of which is that even after the match, the attention of, say, the governing body can be called to take proper redress of issue. But my own argument here is Aimba walking out of that match.
And Eyimba walked out of the match. But do you also see that the people that intruded into the field were Rangers supporters? Were more of Rangers supporters. And so why did Eyimba get a higher fee compared to that of
I think
Rangers?
Sorry to jump in here. I think it's because they were disgruntled. That's Aimba were disgruntled, and they are seen as the people that ignited the whole situation and all. And there's something I need to bring to light. For some of us who played football and who watched all these things happen over time, a ref, I'm not even apologetic about this one, tells you play a game for whole 90 minutes and you don't get a goal, and you get ref advising you just quickly, just make sure say you did inside the team, make something just happen. This one, that one, no worry. Do you understand?
Yeah.
These things happen, and then you begin to wonder why. Because football, people invest emotions in these things, and then people are coming with everything that they have into this game. I'm going to draw an example from what happened between Arsenal and Newcastle United. Sorry, I'm doing that. There were 3 calls. There was a push, there was an indication of the ball rolling out of the field, and there was an offside call. And of all the 3, you're coming to tell me, what's it called? Nothing. We couldn't decide, so the goal should stand. I'm coming to you when you say they should have just allowed, then maybe they'll now go back and discuss. My brother, the point is still will be taken. Remember the game against Man U? I've forgotten which team Man U was playing, and then the ref blew the final whistle, and everybody was walking off the pitch, and then somebody said they saw something on VAR. They now went to check. The man who I thought they said the referee's whistle is final.
It's final.
They came back on the pitch, and that game was I think what they were playing 2-2. Game ended, and then they went back, played that penalty, scored, and the referee blew the final whistle, and everybody went home. So, like I rightfully said, that's why it will take us time to really get quality players from the home league for the national team.
All right, so we now have Comrade back online. Comrade, sorry about that earlier disruption. Now, well, before you answer your the question, what you were commenting about before the break, let me read out the fine, what the NPFL imposed on Eyimba FC. It says, consequently, the NPFL hereby impose on you the following sanction: a fine of 1 million naira for failing to ensure the proper conduct of your team. Number 2, a fine of 5 million naira for disrupting a live broadcast. Number 3, a fine of 1 million naira for throwing of objects onto the field of play. Number 4, a fine of 1 million naira for encroaching into the field of play. Then number 5, an order for forfeiting 3 points and 3 goals in favor of your opponents, refusing to allow the penalty awarded in favor of your opponents to be taken, thereby disrupting the match and bringing the match to disrepute. Number 6, a fine of 2 million naira for causing the disruption and discontinuation of the match. Then finally, an order for Eyimba to identify and produce for further investigation and appropriate sanctions other players and officials complicity in the disruptive conduct That's those players: jersey number 6, jersey number 27, and jersey number 10. Right, this gives you a total of 10 million naira, fine of 10 million naira placed on Aimba United. I would have loved to read that of Rangers, but we are just trying to manage our time. So now come back to you, Comrie. So what do you think about this?
Buka. I will start by saying that the fines are well deserved
Mm.
because, Rafael said, they are the ones that actually instigated the whole chaos in a particular derby match. And going forward, I would want to say that all over the world, wherever football is played professionally, such controversial decisions are bound to happen. That you have to now a walk off. So I believe that people led to the chaos in particular match. So I would say that that fine was really well deserved. I also go further to say that there is need for the NPFL to evolve and introduce VAR because VAR, in spite of all the controversies that are bound with the use of the technology, it tends to really throw more light on such controversies. So I believe that the NPFL should do better and actually introduce this technology. If this technology was to be available in that particular derby, it's possible that this disaster, this chaos would have been averted. I will also go further. Hello, are you hearing me, Mr.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I will also go further to state that there is need for us to also let's not see all the disadvantages. I thought that stadium was really packed, and that was really a plus to our Nigerian league. If we are able to get such turnout in our other matches, it will really help to raise revenue for our local indigenous league. It will lead to more coverage. So in spite of all the disasters and everything that came out of the match, I think that it was a pick out, solid pick out from that particular game.
All right. Thank you, comrade. So, just come. Let's back here in the studio. We are having some hitch, so we apologize, viewers. Well, now back to the Nigerian outing at the World Cup qualifying stages. All right, so we saw last week Friday. We saw the outing in Uyo where Nigerian played the South African team. A, a draw, a 1-1 draw after 90 minutes of play, and now we also have the match between Nigeria and Benin Republic, where we lost to Benin. We lost to Benin, and we lost to our former coach, the former coach of the Super Eagles, 2-1 in favor of the Benin Republic. All right, we want to talk about the what happened, our preparation, our current performance, and our chances for qualification into the next World Cup. But before we do that, let's take a look at this post-match interview with the coach of the Super Eagles.
Yeah, it's to win, but there's no special formula for that. We have to see how the players will start the new season and see how we can get the best out of the players. So everybody must be committed. I think with that commitment, we will win games. I believe we're going to win games, and if we can win games, the battle will still be there. So we can't throw in the towel because we've had only 3 points. We have to find a way to get these players back in a way for them to perform.
Yeah, we just watched the post-match interview with the coach of the Super Eagles, Finidi George, Finidi, after we lost, Nigeria lost to Benin Republic in our quest to qualify for the World Cup. All right, and if you heard him very well, he said there's no formula, there's no special formula for winning the match.
It shows you. It shows you how clueless. It shows you how clueless one can be, because one of his interview that he granted, I don't know how a coach would open his mouth and spew such by saying, "It's not about formation. It's just the boy is just to go in there and do the job." Like one of our coaches then that will say, Ebuka, I used to play in PSG now. The way he used to do it, they just come and do it for us here. So everybody goes there and just play what comes to their head. You say it's not about formation. Then why are we discussing 5-3-2? Why are we discussing 4-4-3, 3-4-3, or 3 whatever? A team wants to play Ebuka. They are structuring their formation around Ebuka's team. I want to play Gordon. I'm structuring my formation around your team. I'm setting a particular player to face you on the pitch. So that the last time Arsenal played, Man City, Haaland was nowhere to be found because somebody was stationed on him. And that's how a coach knows what he's doing. You just have a bunch of players on the field hoping that they will just go there and win. When you have a team that has prepared with the right formation and the right players, a lot of our players were held down. We were shouting, play Boniface. When Boniface came, he could not do anything because the coach who was playing against Nigeria knew these players and knew, okay, see this guy, is a point man, don't leave him, do this, do that. And that is how you know somebody who knows what he's doing. And I've said it. His only experience is Eyimba. I know we said it the last time when we said he doesn't want to say anything so that people don't know his plans. Papa doesn't have plan. Papa does not have plan. You don't have any tactics. If you watch that interview, the first one he granted even before this one, and then you hear your captain coming to say, you don't necessarily, because you're Nigeria, doesn't mean you must win all the games. So who goes into a match and expects to lose? Even a Lesotho that played Nigeria got a draw. Who would have thought that Lesotho would draw with Nigeria? I don't know. When you begin to hire people on sentiment and not on their credentials, you beg to that ask, at what point did we decide that of all the people that submitted their credentials, it was Finidi that was the best?
And with his years of experience, he doesn't have
what?
He hasn't attended any form of
Do
high level training to be a
you
coach.
And I had problem with Iwobi because Iwobi didn't play as what we expected him to play at the AFCON, and that was due to one reason. Iwobi was played out of position.
Wrong position, exactly.
Now watch Iwobi playing against South Africa and playing against the Beninois on those 2 games. How he was moving up and down the pitch, and the coach wanted a team to score and decided to remove Iwobi, who was your only creative player on the pitch, and brought in 2 strikers, and then brought in your Nigerian Dani Alves, because they said he has 12 assists. He knows how to pull out from the wing. And then you have Onoachu and Boniface in front. And they started playing police football. You know what they call police football? When you begin to hear Tum, hoping that something will happen.
It will just happen out of the blues.
And we said it last week here. Oga, say what you want to do. But now we give him excuse now. You don't want to tell people your plans, so they're not going. And then you are playing against Genoroa, who had coached you, who knows all these players by name and what they can do. So I don't know. I still have a strong feeling that Nigeria might qualify, but we have entered the Ifunaya stage. If this one beats this one and this one can't beat this one, do you understand? Everybody with a calculator now, scientific calculator.
All right.
So I'm just trying to get a report. The Raw granted an interview after the match. He says why we defeated Nigeria, and one of his statements, he says that said his players were well motivated going into the game, saying the absence of their key players, such as Victor Sime, Simon Moses, William Contrast, and the others. But Roy, who coached Nigerian team between 2016 and 2021, added that he thought the Eagles has wrapped the game up when they scored.
They thought, from
He
his comment, he
thought-
said the Eagles thought they had wrapped the game up because they scored one, and then they went to relax.
No, this is coming. This is
Yes,
this
that's
is
what I'm
his
saying.
his own statement when he was granting the interview. All right. So also, let me also read this. But I think the moment for Nigeria was not a good one to play against us because we have a lot of motivation and our players didn't play in their clubs all year long.
Can you see? That's why I said when you play with when you're working with somebody who has Ebuka Godwin. I'm sure if you're coaching maybe Man City, or how many times have we shouted from our screens, especially when Wenger was coaching Arsenal, that Oga, when are you going to sub? When are you going to sub? Just Wenger will wait till the 75th minute. The only person that the fastest sub that has ever happened in the history of football that I know of, unless somebody shows me, that is Mourinho, that brought in a player. I don't think the player just played rubbish. Mourinho called him out back then and put it somewhere else. I'm telling you, that's the fastest I've seen in football. The moment you came into the second half, after a short period, play for a while and see them before you now start doing maybe you sub, and then you don't bring out your only creative player who there was no injury, there was no sign of fatigue. You just felt okay, you needed to push all the attackers forward and then start playing balls from the wing so that they will head it. The people who are playing
And
defense there,
even Nigerian players, they are even far taller than the Benians.
you can be tall. See the Brazilian guy, Hendrick, is very short, but the goal he scored over the weekend was a header. So it's not about you playing the ball. If you don't even have ideas, Finidi played as a winger. Amunike played as a winger. But you didn't see Nigeria pulling out ball every now and then when you had an Okocha in the midfield and Olisa in the midfield. You didn't see everybody just playing police football. You play with a purpose, and we had nothing like that.
All right, thank you so much. A whole lot of issues to clearly look out here. Comrade Soko, my question will go to you now because clearly you have seen the analysis of Raphael here and a bit from Ebuka in the studio. And you have been an advocate for, say, a local coach, whom I will call a local champion.
He likes continuity. Let me put it that way, because he's always hammering on continuity. The same way they continue from Buhari to where we are. So I think that's where we are now.
All right, comrade, I believe you just had what Raphael said. So my own take for you is this. Given we have played 2 matches and we are nowhere to be found, Raphael just said we are at the if stages, if with every Nigerian pressing their calculator. How did we get here is going to be my first question. And do you think it is now too early for Nigerians to be calling for
The sack.
a sack of Coach Finidi?
Okay, thank you very much. I will start with your question. First off, let me talk about the continuity. The reason I actually wanted
Mr. Continuity.
Coach, I really supported.
Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. So the reason I really wanted Lady George, because I did not want the team, I wanted us to improve on our performance from the AFCON, which we performed very well. We came out take on and we did very well until probably the last game. So I wanted us to improve on that performance. But seeing the preparations to this tournament, these AFCON qualifiers, it was really in shambles. You cannot tell a group of players to report in camp on the 1st of June and your match is in 6 days' time. And within that period, the preparations were disrupted by industrial action, by NLC and all that. I'm not trying to make excuses for Finidi George, but what I'm trying to do is that he did not prepare enough for these our games, these South Africa and Benin games. We also need to understand that the NFF did not really make their decision. Appoint a coach 1 month to a major qualifier. So, in as much as also blame Finidi George, I believe that we should also respect some of our annoyance and angers for our NFF, the footballing body. The preparation to these games were actually shambles. And if I should speak on continuity, I don't think that Finidi actually brought continuity to the team because most of the players that were performing very well, he removed them from the lineup for no apparent good reasons. For instance, Trust Ekong, which was very solid all through the AFCON tournament, was not enough. And also, as Mr. rightly said, our key striker, did not come in on time. So I think that was a turn in the thing. So, Finidi, honestly, I tend to agree with Raphael that it was actually clueless when it came to tactics and synergy in the team. It was actually clueless on how to make the team function very well. Our last game, the latter game we have against Benin, I really watched that game. I was really pained because I felt that we did not have enough cutting edge in that particular game. We dominated the possession, but there was no cutting edge. Thank you, Mr. Godwin.
All right, thank you so much, comrade. Mr. Raf, just to buttress what Comrade Soko has said, Finidi is coming out with a statement that the battle isn't over and is rallying all the egos.
That statement should not be coming from him.
Okay.
That statement should not be coming from him for somebody who rightfully said, except he's going to go back and take his word, that formation is important. Because if you notice, when Chelsea won the 2012 Champions League, all of us complained that they were parking the bus, but it was the tactics. They parked the bus, and when you lose guard, what I mean by lose guard, when you lose focus, against Bayern Munich, the goal that was scored by Torres, the Bayern team were on Chelsea's half because they were attacking Chelsea. From nowhere, there was a long ball, and it was only Torres and the goalkeeper of the Bayern Munich. That's game plan. That's game plan. Yes, we berated Pesero for a long time. He's playing defensive. He played that style. We got to the final. I'm not saying Pesero is not the best or whatsoever. Everybody, you get to a point, you structure your team to the opponent you're playing, because you beat Cote d'Ivoire in the first time. When you meet them again, you can't play them the same way you play them, because they are also going to change whatever. And mind you, when we played Cote d'Ivoire the first time, it was the white man that was the coach.
Yeah.
But when we played them at the final, it was a different person entirely. So you cannot play the same style and come and bring the same. That's where we had problem with Pesero. You're playing a final, play these people. If he's coming to come and say he's rallying around, the same way Ekong begged to be part of the team that went to AFCON, they almost didn't carry him. He went to that tournament and became the best player of the tournament. The same Ekong is saying, okay, I'm good again, I can play, I'm fit. Yes, I just go back from injury, I know, but I'm good to play. Nigeria in that team had no leader. There was nobody that was talking to them. Nobody was saying anything. I remember the days of Mikel, the days of Olise, the days of Okocha, even the day, Musa. There was somebody who was talking. And mind you, Iheanacho didn't play. Because if Iheanacho had played, he would have captained that team. And you would see Iheanacho speak.
Okay, just to add this, Comrade, when speaking, was attributing the fourth line across various angles. So
he's not wrong.
Okay.
He's not wrong. It took a whole lot to pick the coach for the Super Eagles. More than 1 month. And then there were so many people who had submitted their CVs, and you, in your heart of heart, you think Finidi was the best. You think Finidi was the best. We even had foreigners, but we're clamoring for local coach. Even in the local coaches, bring Amunike's CV, bring Finidi's CV. Finidi's CV is nowhere near Amunike's CV. So I just felt maybe the NFF were playing, I don't know how to use that word, sentiments or emotions or whatever you want to call it. Because if you want to go with what you call it, which with CV experience, and I don't think Finidi should be getting that job. And he's not the one that should be coming out to tell us he's rallying. Who is he rallying?
A comment from sir. I read a comment somewhere. It says it will take 2 years for a coach to fit into that position before getting Nigeria any desired good performance.
I think
But we don't have the leverage or we don't have the liberty of that 2 years because we are currently at the stage as we didn't qualify for the previous World Cup.
yes.
We did not qualify.
Yes,
And if we don't
and
qualify
let me tell you why
again
we
now,
didn't qualify for the last one. Who was our coach before? We had a coach General who plays qualifying games. 2 games before the end, Nigeria had qualified. A game beforehand, the last game we just pick players, just go and play for formalities. We had qualified, and then for no good reason, you have 2-legged game against Ghana for World Cup, and from nowhere he sacked Ghana. And from nowhere, you brought a coach who you had sacked because he didn't do well at the 2019 Nations Cup, who you had also sacked earlier in 2006 or thereabouts for not doing well, Eguavon, to come and take this team to the World Cup. How possible can that be?
we didn't do well against Ghana.
Do you understand? That's when we lost that. That's when we lost that. Now, until they get to the point where they can allow a coach come, where the coach can decide what he wants and what he can do, not somebody that they can control. That's when you will know that Nigeria have gotten it right, because I think I see the bone of contention is who they can tell this is what we want you to do and the person will listen, not who they want to do the actual job.
But could it be said that NFF was banking on the performance of the Super Eagles during AFCON, the last AFCON?
If they are banking on the performance of the Super Eagles during AFCON, they shouldn't have sacked Pesero. They should have renewed his contract.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Let's deviate a little bit from football, where we go and we talk about Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson, the boxing legend, is eyeing in showdown with Anthony Joshua. Mike Tyson, I've known Mike Tyson for quite a long while now. Before I even got to know who is AJ, Anthony Joshua, and Mike Tyson should be 56 or 57 thereabouts.
Ebuka, I'm sorry, let me cut you. I'm sorry, I don't want you to. I wouldn't even let you finish this one. I want to believe he's being sarcastic.
No. So let me finish.
Okay.
All right. So the match is it's kind of a match to
raise funds also.
Yes, to raise funds
Okay,
for.
it's not a serious match.
It's not a serious match. But before that match, there's also another match for Mike Tyson. And that one is not just to raise fund for any kind of any support. It's a match between a 57 years old man and a 31 years old man, who is the name Jake Paul. So I'm not asking what is Mike Tyson actually looking for, because even towards that match, Mike Tyson and Anthony Joshua. Joshua is still concerned about the health of Mike Tyson. Now he wants to go and fight somebody before coming to fight Anthony
I think
Joshua.
those matches are just for media. How will I call it? I don't know what to put there. So I don't think it's anything serious. But I'm not surprised if I read some weeks back that Bash Ali is still pursuing his Guinness record as the oldest boxer, still pleading that the government should assist him so that he can have his dream. I know all of us know Bash Ali, that at a point he slept in front of a Louis Edet house so that the government would give him a listening ear and so on and so forth. So I don't think this is a serious match when people like AJ are vying for fight with Usyk, Fury, Wilder and the likes. Mike Tyson just wants to be a part of it, just wants to have a fun. And I'm sure there are going to be a lot of rules guiding the game of AJ, don't punch too hard or just do small and Papa be this.
Because we know that the match is for charity sake. Yeah.
Before you know how they play charity football, where you can be playing, somebody will just pick the ball with hand itself, so it's not a serious game to say. So that's why I said maybe they are doing it for charity, but the other one is the one against Jake Paul.
Yeah,
I don't know what is at stake there, but Mike Tyson should know that it's not very far from the ground with all these things he's asking for.
All right, so comrade Mike Tyson, the two-time heavyweight champion, is concerned about. Anthony Joshua, the two-time heavyweight champion, is concerned about he's a senior man. I will call him. We should call him senior man.
In a local balance.
Mike Tyson. He's concerned about his health. With in view the charity match against which we have to fight very soon. So, what do you think about the whole thing? Is it proper for Mike Tyson to come and fight Jake Paul, who is 31 years old, and Mike Tyson is in his late 50s, approaching his 60s?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Abuka. When I saw the headline, I just felt that somebody will from there to his funeral. I think it's going
One blow,
to
seven
lead
die.
to some burial being made. Because if you look at it critically, logically, Anthony Joshua is at his prime. You can't put Anthony Joshua and Mike Tyson to fight professionally. You cannot do that at this stage. As Mr. Raphael said, I believe that there are regulations and safety procedures guiding this fight. So I don't think that the regulatory body is going to allow that match. But if we are doing it for charity, I believe that this charity, they serve a very good cause, they serve a very good purpose. So going to raise money, and this money is going to go into very, very good causes. So I believe that they are going to relax some of these rules. They are going to make sure that it doesn't really go into professional boxing. And to even go further, I would want to even say that in view of Mike Tyson's head, I don't even think that it is proper for him to go into the ring, charity or no charity. Probably fighters that are in their in better physical conditions should have been used for this,
Yeah, the
because he
same
wanted, as you rightly said, he wanted
age.
to fight. He wanted to fight Paul, and I think for some reasons that was called off. And they are saying that you want to go into a boxing match with Joshua. So charity or no charity, I don't think that match should go on. Thank you, Mr. Ebuka.
All right, thank you so much, comrades. So cool. Moving on with away from boxing. All right, we will be looking at the Euro 2024. Comrade, please, still sticking to you. Haaland, Rashford, and 20 others big stars will be missing out. And also, we will be taking a bit of an update of the Euro 2024. But let me first get your comments on that. Rashford, Haaland will be missing out. What is your take on this?
But Ronaldo is not missing out. Ronaldo at 39 is in the list. Let's hear you, sir.
Okay. Okay, my take on Rashford missing out on the tournament. I think that he was not just good enough. I think during the course of last season, he was not really up to par. And we need to understand, Mr. Godwin, that they are there are new English players coming up, and you cannot leave these new players that are performing, scoring, performing very well every week, every midweek, every fortnight, and you leave them out and put a non-performing Rashford. So I believe that the decision to leave Rashford was simply based on form. I think he was not the only high-profile player to be left out from the team, the English team. Maguire was out, and I think
All right.
You need leadership.
Thank you, comrade. Thank you for your comment. All right, so back here, Mr. Raphael, we're now talking about the Euros 2024, and let me inform you that Euros 2024 kick starts tomorrow with the opening match against Germany versus Scotland, 8 p.m. tomorrow. 9th. And so after that one, then the next match, the subsequent matches goes on. Then we have Hungary against Switzerland on Saturday, 2 p.m. West African time. Spain against Croatia, Saturday, 15th June, 5 p.m. West African time. Then Italy against Albania, 8 p.m. same Saturday. And then Sunday matches, we have Poland, Netherlands, 2 p.m. on Sunday. Slovenia versus Denmark, 5 p.m. on Sunday. Serbia versus England, 8 p.m. on Sunday. Then next week we also have other matches. So we want to know what's your take on the Euros 2024, seeing the likes of senior man CR7 still willing to play for future in his in this international game Euros 2024, and he says playing Euro at 39 is a gift.
Yes, indeed, it's a gift because we have a lot of players who he played with, who most likely was older than, and they retired from football, either because of injuries or loss of form. We have the likes of Wayne Rooney, who have retired. We have the likes of Ronaldinho, who a lot of people thought was going to play for a long time. Mind you, you have Ronaldo, who is playing at 39. How old is Pepe? Pepe is also going to be in that team. I think Pepe is 40. The 940 is also in that team playing too. And if you are given the privilege, because this is a great privilege to play at this age, and not just at this age, they're not just carrying you because you are Ronaldo. In the last season at the Saudi League, he was the top goal scorer with over 34, 35 goals. Do you understand? So he's still playing well, and now he's playing with players.
He also scored at
their last friendly game going into this tournament. He scored a brace.
Yeah.
Ronaldo played his first tournament in 2004 to 2024. So that's to tell you how
he's still the top goal scorer in
Europe. That's to tell you how good he is. And the last time they played and they won, that was 2016. He got injured in the final and became the player coach. Because if you watch that game, you will see him on the sideline.
He was stood side by side with the coach.
You see him saying one or two things. That's to tell you people who are serious minded. People who want to win games. People, when they lose, they cry. Not when you lose, you start hearing, you see them with headphone dancing as if nothing happened. Say somebody come and say, because you're Nigeria doesn't mean you must win. Then why did you play in the first place? I don't want to go back to that. But then I believe this Euro is going to be a very, very strong one. A lot of bookmakers have been picking their favorites. A lot of people are saying this time around maybe England might take it.
Yeah, is it coming home this time?
Is it coming home this time? Is it France with their star-studded team? Nobody's even giving people like Germany, who is the host country, any hope, or Spain, and so on and so forth. So I think it's going to be a cracker. We have two new teams, if I'm not mistaken, Georgia and Albania,
Georgia
playing their first tournament in this game. Remember the last time Hungary played the last tournament, and they gave some of these teams a good run for their money. They gave them a good run for their money. I believe our viewers are going to be up for a great tournament. The Euros don't come to play. The Euro is like the World Cup.
Yeah.
It's like the World Cup.
It's a World Cup for the European countries. All right. When you talked about England and you raised the issue about this, is it coming home? Let's talk about the commotion that has been on the social media recently concerning the last match England played and they lost. They lost. Saka wasn't fully in the game, but at the end of the day, his picture was used in the news report or in the picture report for the match. What do you think about that?
I'll say
any
this.
Sentiment towards?
It's not sentiment. I'll say this. Every now and then in the EPL, from game 1 to the last game, they keep advertising no room for racism,
exactly.
No this, no that, and what have you. But I don't think they are ready because they've not left yet.
True.
I wish the producers can put that picture on the screen. If we have that the page where you have a Saka that came in 25 minutes to the end of the game. If I played only 25 minutes and then your team lost and he's your paper boy. There was a game that England played and Saka scored 2 goals in that game and gave an assist. and you are seeing people, Hurricane's face on the screen and other people's faces on the screen. And mind you, that was why a lot of people were happy England lost the final at the last Euro, because they used the three black boys on the team as their scapegoats. You had Rashford, you had Sancho, and then you had Saka,
Saka, who
because they missed penalty. Okay, if you knew they were not your best penalty takers, because what I believe is that whoever goes forward to take a penalty, I remember Chelsea players having issues on penalty when Madueke, Palmer, he took Gallagher to go and say, give Palmer the ball to play. Every team has a penalty taker. Now, there was Hurricane in that team. There was Henderson in that team. The so-called senior boys who are white were in that team. Why didn't they play the penalties? And therefore, no reason, these ones who do you know what it means to play penalty in a top game like that, where the whole world is watching you? Do you understand me? And they lost the penalty, and all of a sudden they became useless. They became something else. These people who had carried the team all the way from the first game on to the final. I think the English press need to do a lot of work, because they are not ready to leave that face of racism. You don't necessarily, and they made it so bad. Not everybody noticed it. They made it so bad that they now posted Southgate's picture under Saka's arm, closing his nose. That's why I said I wish we had that image. Southgate was placed under Saka's arm while closing his nose. That's a very strong message. If I were Saka and all the black players in that squad, I would behave like white. I'll boycott the game. They should go and play with all their white players.
That's so bad, and we don't want to encourage any form of racism or downplayment. And we wish Bukayo Saka all the best in his career. Well, amongst all that, we also wish the other players at his age and at his stage the best in this outing. So now the first match, the futures I read out earlier on. What's your prediction about the match, the opening match against Germany, Scotland, and then let's also pick on the Portuguese game against the Czech Republic on Tuesday, 18th of June. That's just two of my pick for the first match day one. I picked the first match and the last match for match day one.
I'll give it to Germany, because they're playing in front of their home fans. And let's not also forget that Germany has not really been in fine form, but recently they've been getting their acts together and they're playing good football. And Kai Havertz is doing well for them too.
Yeah.
Do you understand? I want to give it to Germany, because even Scotland has not been fantastic of recent. If you check out their friendly going to the tournament, they've not been very good. Why the one I'm afraid to put my money on is Portugal, Czech Republic. Portugal, Czech Republic. I'm just going to sit on the fence on that one.
All right, comrade Soko. So I'm going to ask you for your own prediction for the first stage of the Euros 2024. So I'm going to ask your prediction on the just arrived teams. That's the Italy against Albania and Turkey against Georgia. What do you think? What will be the outcome of the game?
Okay. What are the fixtures? Albania and Turkey.
Italy against Albania Saturday 8 p.m. and then Turkey against Georgia Tuesday 18th by 5 p.m.
Okay, let me start with Turkey against Georgia. Turkey has been a very, very good team. They have a very top elite league. Galatasaray, both teams took their local league to the wire. And you need to understand that Mourinho has also joined Fenerbahce. So the Turkish league, they play very elite football. But you also need to understand that Georgia has Napoli's next to our own Victor Osimhen. So I think that game, I'm going to give that game to Georgia. Then the other game, Albania against Turkey, against Italy, I'm going to give the Italians that particular game. But you also need to understand that the Albanians, they might be underdogs in that game, but they are also very, very, very capable of pulling out a shocker, because they also have their own star player in the person of Liverpool's, what's his name? Their midfield general in Liverpool. So it's going to be a very, very good game, that particular game.
All right, thank you so much for your view on this show this morning, gentlemen. And the time is fast spent, and that's probably all we can take this morning because we've taken a lot of time. So thank you, comrade Soko, for being on the show this morning. We apologize for the up and down we've had with network and communication with you, but just know that we've always and will always enjoy your comments on the show this on ACNNTV now streaming sports edition. So thank you very much, sir. All right, Mr. Raphael, thank you.
Thank you for always having me.
Thank you for always changing jerseys. Today you're on Arsenal.
I'm a
But
football fan.
I've not seen you on Chelsea jersey.
I think that's one jersey I will struggle to wear. I don't know why. I'm sorry, Comrade Soko, but I don't know why. I think that's and the irony of this whole thing. Blue is my favorite color.
It's well. Thank you, Michael and
Thank
Godwin.
you so much, Ebuka.
All right, thank you viewers for being there today on the show. Thank you for everyone who had made the show possible today. That's all we can take for today's edition. We hope you enjoyed the coverage we'll be able to bring your way concerning the Nigerian news and the sports news. All right, today is June 13th. It's not a notable day for holiday. However, it's you can celebrate acts of kindness every day. You can do this by sharing a snack in school with someone or in the office, or picking up littered items around, keeping the office or environments clean, or giving others the benefit of the doubt. And you can do so much to make sure that you ease somebody's stress, somebody's difficulty, and somebody's challenge in this challenging economy of Nigeria. Join us next time on Now Streaming. Remember, you're not alone. And from all of us here, bye bye and God bless you.